is Orezi Egrefa. So if this is your first time here, you're welcome. If you're a return subscriber, thank you so much for clicking and watching this video. So for today's tutorial, we're going to be discussing all about bridal makeup, how to get the perfect finish for your bride. This is the season. The season is upon us. So for this video, the tutorial highlights will be skin prep, skin work, powder application, cream blush application, and bridal lipstick application. So you will learn how to give your client the best of this, and then I want you to pay close attention so that if there's anything you have been making mistake or getting it wrong, you'll be able to correct it. And feel free to ask a question if you are confused about anything. So to start up, it is best you have the best skin prep. You give your bride the best skin prep. Skin prep are those products, your primers, your moisturizers, and all those things you layer on first as your base before you start applying your foundation. So first I use the hydrating spray and I use Cetaphil moisturizer, and now I'm making use of this moisturizer. So you should apply your moisturizer all over the face, let it dry before you move on to your next step of primers. So now I'm making the Rimmel primer. Is a mattifying primer, so I'm going to apply this on her T-zones and those areas she gets more oily. Then I'm going to lock everything in with my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. So to start up, I'm making use of to start up with the skin work, that's foundation, highlighter, and the rest. Highlighting and the rest, I'm making use of this Huda Beauty foundation in the shade Cinnamon. Then I went in with a little bit of 336 from Maybelline Superstay because of the yellow undertone, and then I'm just going to blend in using a damp beauty sponge like I'm doing right now. So you have to blend and blend till it disappears into the skin. It's very important that you give your bride a very good finish. Okay, you don't want to leave no mistake, no harsh line, or let it look like she's putting on a mask. Okay, so do well to blend and blend till it looks like you already applied powder on the face. Okay, so guys, what has been your challenge when it comes to bridal makeup? I'm trying to think of one scenario where, okay, there was this time when I was doing getting a bride ready for her big day, and she started tearing up. So when I did her highlights, it wasn't staying properly because of the tears. Then I had to like wipe out everything I had done and started afresh again. But I was so lucky because I had not gone far. I had not done the brows. You know, I usually start with my skin prep and skin work before brows and eyeshadow. That was my only luck. So I had to clean everything and start afresh. So what has been like your saddest bridal moment, nightmare? How would I put it? Or let me call it that. Like, what has been like your saddest experience when it comes to handling brides as a makeup artist? Okay, please share in the comment section so we can learn from each other. So for bridal makeup, I always emphasize on the fact that you need to give it time, you need to take your time to blend, and you need to bring out all your best products, because definitely the price for bridal makeup is different from like your regular makeup. So apart from that, you need to blend very well. Something that usually will take you 2 minutes, blending that will take you 2 minutes, you have to give it like 5 minutes, because it's a bride and you need to make sure that she looks perfect for all her pictures, and you know, she shines more than her bridesmaid and more than any guest there. So that's why you need to take your time. So you see me layering and blending and making sure that everything comes together. It's because that is what you should give to your bride. You should give your bride the best. It's her big day, and yeah, so you should take note of that when doing your bridal makeup. So now for nose contour, I'm making use of this shade and Maybelline Superstay in the shade 340, and I'm just using, this is what I just started doing recently. So if I don't want to really contour all over the face, I just take like this small kabuki brush that is precise for blending. I take a little of the foundation or little of the concealer I want to use and just blend it out and blend it very close to the nose to make it really sharp. Then I don't bother doing it on the sides. I just go with my blush instead to just warm up the cheeks. That's what I do these days, at least. So I don't have a reason yet, but then this is how I just do it, and it comes out really well because I'm so used to powder, contour and the rest. So me doing the blush is going out of my comfort zone, but then I only do it when it comes to brights. Okay, so nevertheless, it still comes out beautiful as always. So now I'm setting the under eyes with my Mirac setting powder, and that's what I'm using. So to get the best out of this powder, you apply, then you allow it disappear to the skin by dapping it into the, and pressing it into the skin continuously. Then you can now leave some to bake, so you can continue with other parts of the eyes. Don't also forget to apply your setting powder on the bridge of the nose to guide us when contouring, and also on the smile lines as well. To contour, I'm making use of this floral powder. Like I said, I am so used to powder contour, so that's why, or powder bronzer as the case may be. So that's why I don't bother using cream products to contour the face. But then if you are the person that use cream product, it's still okay. Do what works best for you. Okay, so I'll go ahead to contour her forehead, the side of her cheeks, just to make sure that everything looks snatched and ready and good to go. Okay, so after that, I'm going to set the contour and the blush, the cream blush, with this blush powder from Elsa's Pro Cosmetics. Then I'm making use of the MAC powder in the shade 47, NC47, all over the face, just to push everything in and give it a really good finish. Okay, yes. So now to set the contour on the nose, I'm making use of this Zaro powder in the shade Cocoa, and I'm just going to, because of the outline we already did, so this will be so easy. So that is just what I'm going to use. And remember, I'm not using that floral powder because you need to use one shade darker when it comes to contouring the nose, as opposed to 2 shades darker that you use for the side of the face. Do you understand? Yes, if you have been getting it wrong, this is the trick. Okay, then because it's a bride, I will definitely do a reverse contour on the nose, just to make sure the nose is more snatched and look as pointy as it can possibly look. I told you it's a bridal makeup, so you have to give it your best. Anything you need to do to make it look perfect, you need to do it. Okay, so moving over to brows, I'm making use of the Hega and Extra Brow Gel for the brows. Guys, I have a detailed brow tutorial. I'll just link it up here so you can watch. Okay, because here I will not really be showing so much about the brows, but then when you go to watch the brow tutorial, at least you have a perfect and better idea about how I achieve my brows. Okay, so I like to outline, then I fill in, then I conceal, and that is it. Then the extra trick I use is just to have a brow gel. So depending on the one you prefer, you can just get a brow gel. The brow gel helps to keep the brows in shape and also make it lighter if the brows are too dark. Okay, so that's it, and I conceal. So that is how I get the perfect brows. You can buy into this step and do the same for yourself, and you will thank me later. So moving on to one of the most important aspects of makeup, eyeshadow application. Very important, so I need to pay attention. So I'm making use of the 7 Beauty eyeshadow palette, and I'm making use of that first shade there, which is the brown shade. That's what I'm using as a transition color. Then I added a little bit of the orange color just to warm it up a bit. I'm showing you how to properly blend it. So in circular motions, blend upwards, but then leave your brows separate from the eyeshadow. So next thing I'm doing is carrying a little bit of my foundation or your concealer, as the case may be, and I'm putting it all over the eyelid just to form a base. Then I'm going in with this powder shade in Fenty called Thick Mint, and that's what I'm going to use to, because I need like a brown finish, so that's why I'm making use of this Fenty powder. I don't want it so dark, I just want it brown as a base to layer on the pigment I'm going to use later. So almost like I'm trying to achieve a smoky eyes. So when I apply the pigment, it would give it a better appearance, or a better look, a much better look. So when it comes to working with pigment, especially for weddings, you need to always have your glitter primer. So I'm using this one I got from AliExpress. I don't know the name. See, it has wiped out, but then it does the work for me. So apply your first layer of your glitter primer, choose your favorite pigment or any pigment that you want to use, then apply all over the eyelid. Apply all over the eyelid, especially when you want to work with 2 or 3 glitter. Okay, so this is it. Spread it around all over the eyelid like you can see. So now to move on to the next glitter, apply that glitter primer again in the middle part of the first glitter you already applied, like I'm doing right now. Then choose your second glitter, then apply on top. As you can see, that's what I'm doing now. So it doesn't matter the pigment you use, you just select your pigment and layer them on like I'm doing. So choose your combination, then layer it on right. So for the third pigment, apply more glitter primer in the middle, then you apply your third pigment. So the trick is to always apply your glitter primer before you move on to apply the glitter or your pigments. Understood? Yes, that's basically it. When you're done, you swipe off the excess glitter or the fallout from the eyeshadow and the pigment under the eyes with a setting powder or a powder that is obviously light, so as to still keep your highlight under the eyes popping, but then take out the pigment fallout. It is very important you do this. Okay, so now to line her eyes, I'm making use of a Miracle pencil, the dark shade, I don't know what it's called, but then that's what I'm using to line her waterline. Then after that, I'm going to go in with my Zaron gel liner. With my brush, and I'm just going to line the upper part of the eyes. I'm keeping this very simple because I'm still going to smoke it out, so I'm not doing so much. So I'm going in with that 7 Beauty eyeshadow palette, and I'm using the dark shade, and I'm smoking it out to give it like a better finish, as you can see. Then I'm going to bring it under the eyes as well to smoke the bottom part of her eyes. It's a bride, so everything goes, everything works. Okay, after that, I'm just going to spray and set her face because I want the whole powdery effect to reduce. Then I'll pop on the lashes and apply blush afterwards. So now for the blush, I'm making a Tehila palette in the I'm using the orange shade in the palette, so that's what I'm going to use now. So for your cream blush, try as much as possible to warm it up at the back of your hand before you apply it to the face. It gives it a better finish. So when you are done, apply your highlight on top of your cream blush for a better highlighted look. Okay, so don't forget the bridge of the nose. Then I'm going back with that orange shade because I could not get like a very orange so I'm just making use of the orange shade from that eyeshadow palette just to make sure that my the blush is still there and it's still nice. So now moving over to lipstick, I'm making use of my Eye Magic palette. So the first thing you want to do for the bridal lipstick is to make sure that your outline is is visible, very very visible, before you go in with any other color you want to go in with. So apply and blend very well. So you can see I'm using one brush to apply, then I'm using another to blend it out. It is very important to give like a very good blend for you to get, you can see the difference. So I'm making use of these two gloss for the lip. I'm using the clear one, that's from Beyond Beauty, and the second one from V Beauty. So the tinted one for the outline and the clear one for inside the lip. And there you have it. This is what the finished look looks like before we get her gele on. This is just what it looks like. How perfect and how beautiful does this look, guys? Like 100%. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and yes guys, I'll see you in my next tutorial. Love you.